Got a new chair, haven't I? Feel kind of like the boss, don't I? What? No, I'll do the bins after. I'm filming. Don't mess with me, woman. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm coming. I'm sorry, please. Don't, no, please don't. I'm sorry. Word to your mother, my name's Steve, this channel is Fragrances. Thanks for tuning in. It's been a minute since I've done a video. I apologise. I've mentioned before, I've just kind of been working on my other YouTube channel and I've been busy with work, etc. So I do apologise for that. I'm not giving up on this channel. There's still content coming, so do please stick with me. Today it's just going to be sort of relatively quick first impressions video. It's not a 100% actual first impressions because I have smelt it before, but this is very early. I've basically just worn this a couple of times just on my wrist and kind of just sniffed it and give it a kind of a little bit of a sort of mild test run. So this is really early impressions. This is not a full review. So I'm just covering my own arse there, if I'm being totally honest. The fragrance I'm talking about today is a new release for 2021 from the house of Azzaro, and it is Most Wanted. Now, I don't have a full bottle to show you, but I do have this lovely little sample, which was kindly sent to me by Kevin at the YouTube channel Mersey Scents. Now, I'll link that channel in the video description below. Go and check Kevin out and his content. He is a great guy, and he's got a really cool eclectic collection from some basic bitch designer fragrances all the way through to some very classy niche. So go and check out Kev. He's a really good guy, very honest, and he's just a proper genuine bloke in Fragcom, so he's definitely worth following. Thanks again, Kev, for this sample. Now, most of you probably know the score by now. There's already a few videos out, but this is a new release from Azzaro, and it follows their Wanted line. Now, the original Wanted is a fragrance that I've never owned. I've smelt it quite a few times in store, and I've sort of mulled over if I should own it or not, because it is very solid, but there's too much of a resemblance to Invictus from Paco Rabanne for me. And that's never been a fragrance that I kind of want to smell like as such. So I've basically always swerved it, but it's a very solid fragrance. However, one of the flankers from that line, Azzaro's Wanted by Night, is actually a fragrance that I love, and you can see that I've sort of made a good old dent in this bottle, to be honest. I love this fragrance. It is an absolute banger. I've featured this in numerous videos before, including my top 10 fragrances for life. This has always remained in there. It's one of those fragrances, I've sprayed this on my hand beforehand. It's just got that something about it that I just love. This is one of those fragrances, whenever I wear it and I kind of go out, I'll be getting in the car and I'll get a waft of it and I'll be like, oh, damn, that smells good. It does smell synthetic, but to me that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, people often moan at me if I use synthetic in a negative, and I don't intend it to be, I'm just trying to let you know kind of what it smells like. But it's got this lovely kind of fruity spiciness, but it's not too heavy on the spice. With the leather in there, it's just a very sexy, manly date night smell. And I've mentioned before, one of the last Christmas parties that I went to before all this COVID shit kicked off, for work, I actually wore this as my scent of the night for my Christmas party, and it is getting low. I need to get a new bottle, man. I'll definitely get the bigger bottle than this one. Anyway, we're not talking about this fragrance today as such. We're talking about the new one. So it is Most Wanted. According to Fragrantica, this has got a really simple note breakdown. There's cardamom at the top, there's toffee in the mid, and then there's amberwood in the base. Now, amberwood is kind of a note that I've traditionally quite liked. It sometimes gets compared to ambroxan, but it's kind of just this very soft, pleasant, woody vibe that's not too woody, it's not too heavy. But I mean, obviously, this is, as I say, a kind of first impressions. I do get that sort of soft, ambroxan-y kind of woody vibe to it, but very subtle. The main thing I get from this, I get a bit of a sort of, right at the top, there's a sort of sweet fruitiness as such, but basically I just get a massive dump of that toffee. For me, that's really what I get. But when I smell this, straight away I was like, oh shit, I know this fragrance. What does this remind me of? What does it remind me of? And I messaged Kevin, I said, oh, this reminds me of something. And then it hit me. This smells a lot like Emporio Armani's Stronger With You. Now, I'm not saying this is an exact clone or carbon copy of Armani's Stronger With You, but it is really similar to the point where if you like that one, you'll definitely like this. If you don't like it, you probably won't like this. And if you own it, you probably won't need to own this. But I would say smell it and see what you think, because you might think it's worthwhile, or you might be running out of that one or something and might want to switch to this. Stronger With You is a fragrance that I loved from when I first smelt it, but it's only when owning it, as much as I do enjoy wearing it, and I have picked up compliments from the wife, etc. on it, that after I've worn it a while, so several hours into its kind of wearing on skin, it starts to get a bit cloying and annoying. And I think it's the chestnut that's in it. There's something about it that just starts getting a bit, it starts annoying me. So I almost enjoy it for the first sort of 3 or 4 hours, and then once it gets to sort of 6 hours, it starts getting a bit, I don't know, perhaps I've just had enough of it. So yeah, but so far, as I say, this is fairly early impressions, I don't get that annoying cloyingness from this, but there's no chestnut listed in this, so I suspect it is the chestnut. Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, the notes on this are fairly straightforward, but the main thing I get from this is toffee. But it's like that sweet gourmand toffiness that you get from Stronger With You, but without the chestnuts. And I don't kind of get any vanilla, as I mentioned earlier. I think the amberwood is kind of there. It gives it this sort of soft, subtle, smooth woodiness underneath, but it's very much, to me anyway, the toffee is the most prominent note in this. Now, I'm not a big gourmand fan, as I've mentioned before. I do like them in the sort of colder weather. Sometimes I find those sort of scents very snuggly, but because Stronger With You intensely went more gourmandish, I never kind of went with that, and I never kind of wanted to pick it up after smelling it. So this, for me, is in that realm where I would definitely rock this in the autumn and winter. For me, not personally in the warmer months, because of that sweet toffiness. To me, it's very prominent. So I think that'd just be, I suspect, as I say, I've not given it full kind of test drive yet, but I think that would be too much in high heat, and I wouldn't want to wear it, and I think that'd probably be just a bit too much and a bit full on for warmer weather. So that's pretty much my first impressions for this fragrance. I do really enjoy it, but for me, it's certainly one I would rock more in the autumn and winter. So now's not a good time for me personally. So I'll probably pick up a bottle of this later on in the year. But do bear in mind that it definitely smells similar, at least, to Armani Stronger With You. So if you don't like that one, do bear that in mind if you're considering blind buying this. I would say definitely try it. Personally, I think this smells better than Stronger With You. I like the fact that it's not got that chestnut note, which I suspect is the note in Stronger With You that gets a bit annoying to me. And I do feel like this one just feels a bit more, I think it feels like a bit, again, it's very designery, but I think there's a bit more quality to it, and it does feel a little bit thicker. Not necessarily heavier, but just a bit more like it's kind of got a bit more kind of backbone to it, even though the note breakdown isn't as complicated. So yeah, really enjoy this one. I would recommend getting your nose on it, particularly if you like Stronger With You, or if you like sort of gourmand, richer scents. But for me, definitely one for winter and autumn. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments below what you think to this one. Do you think it smells similar to Stronger With You? Do you prefer it? Do you not? Let me know. I'll be curious to hear. Thanks again for watching. Stay tuned for more content, because it is coming up, I promise. If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe and all that shit, and I will see you for a video soon. Take care. Much love.